Linda wanted to know what your favorite episode was.
I think my favorite episode might be episode 9. You know, the concentration camp episode I thought was just amazingly well done. And I wasn't in that episode, but I went to set when they were shooting it because I had just heard so many great things about the set design and everything that was going on over there. So I went and hung out for a couple of days, and it was just unbelievable to think that was a movie set. It looked so real. And everybody was so good in it. And I don't mean just the stars of the movie. I mean the background players, the guys and women who portrayed the victims of the Holocaust, of the concentration camps, were just fantastic. Their faces were committed. They were emotionally committed. The physicality was spot on. They just did a great job selling the devastation of the whole experience. And you know, Jimmy Matteo, when he first finds the camp, it's so great in that scene. There's a lot of moments that give me chills, and that's one of them. I'll tell you another one that gives me chills is when Ian Bailey gives the little kid chocolate, when Webster gives that little boy his first chocolate bar.
Yeah.
Love that moment. And a couple moments like that just kind of get me. I think that I just find to be, you know, still emotionally poignant, if you will. And by the way, I want to go back to one thing, because somebody asked if I left after I died because I was dead, and then I had answered that I didn't because I still had more stuff to shoot. But the guys all went to Interlaken to shoot the end of the movie, and Frank John Hughes and I and a couple of the actors who weren't there specifically didn't go because we thought it would be strange for us to be hanging around when we were supposed to be memories at that point. So we did try to make a concerted effort not just to be lurking around when guys were playing different moments and different scenes that really didn't involve us.
You know, that makes sense. It would be weird to look over like a ghost on the wall. It's like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's a little bit, because again, it's not your typical movie. I mean, we were all doing our own extra work, so we were all going to work every day together for the 9 months. There, you know, you didn't have any days off. If 500 yards down the line, the mortar crew was supposed to be setting up, that was Malarkey, Muck, and Pancala doing the actual setting up. It wasn't doubles or anything like that. So you were always doing your own work, and you were always going to work and hanging out in the Easy Company tent, waiting to be called to go do something. So when you were quote unquote gone, it was noticed by everybody who was involved in the production, you know, actors especially. So you would sort of do them the favor of being gone so that they could absorb that experience, whatever that means to them.
That's pretty amazing. Like, have you ever heard of any other, you know, movie or series that's been shot in that way?
No, I mean we didn't have dressing rooms. We all dressed in a tent, and the first couple of weeks we actually marched to set.
Wow.
And you'd also have guys. This happened on more than one occasion. I remember specifically Lipton doing it, Donnie Wahlberg, but I also remember it happened several other times where guys would literally go to the director and take themselves out of a scene. They would say, I got my guy on the phone, I was talking about this patrol in the woods in Foy, and he says he wasn't on this patrol, so I'm not in this scene. Give my lines to somebody else. And the director would say, okay, wow. Because the director had been instructed to know the directors were there in and out. You know, we were there the whole time. And Spielberg and Hanks and Tony Toe had made it clear to the directors, these guys know more about the men they're playing than you do. So whatever they say, unless it's absolutely ludicrous, listen to it. And I'll tell you, you don't get a lot of actors who want to be in the movie less. So it clearly illustrates how committed everybody was to doing their specific role correctly. And that's what I think that added to the unique, special experience of making the project.
Can I jump in here while you're on the subject of Donnie Wahlberg? I believe you're friends with Donnie. Can you tell us anything about that? I mean, were you friends before the show, or did you get close during the show, or are you?
I didn't know Donnie before. I met him during the series, and look, you know, like everybody else I met on that show, he was just a really nice, grounded guy who was focused on doing the best job he can. I mean, and I mean this as a compliment to Donnie, there's nothing that stands out about meeting Donnie Wahlberg that doesn't also stand out about meeting Rick Gomez or Neil McDonough or Mike Cudlitz. It was a bunch of guys from different backgrounds who were thrown together in a unique situation to play a company of men who were bonded closer than any of us had ever experienced. So we did our best to emulate that and get to know each other first on a professional level and our character and and by our rank, and secondly, as actual guys and actors and people from different parts of the country who had moved to Los Angeles or New York to pursue our careers. And Donnie was just another fascinating facet of that group of guys.
Anthony wants to know how much weight you lost when you were sick.
Oh man. Let's see. They're in the metric system. I don't know what the metric system equivalent of a shitload is, but I don't remember. But I came home and back to the States and all my friends were like, "Hey, wow, I mean, they thought I picked up a heroin habit. It was not a good look for me.
Now, Bonnie, she has a question she asks everybody. She's one of the band of sisters. What's one question you've never been asked, and what's the answer?
Can I give the answer first?
Yes.
I think that's a more interesting way to do it. Let's see. Lactose intolerance.
Ding, what is something I found out about myself during the filming of Band of Brothers?
That's damn close. I was going to say, what was the most annoying dietary problem I had during the shooting of Band of Brothers?